Good morning. Oh, good morning. Sweet beautifuls. I got it. I got it. I got it. All right. So we are on. It is a good morning. Welcome to the Good Morning Present, sweet beautifuls. And we're not officially at 4:45 yet. Let me see. There. I had some, I needed to drink more water. You know, on Thursdays, I do this twice. So it's extra. It's extra. Energetically speaking. Okay, here we go. Sweet beautifuls, good morning, good morning. Yes, it's a lovely day. Good morning to you. Yay! Let's see. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Linda. I missed you yesterday. Oh, it's all right because you know the recordings are there. Good morning, Anna. Good morning, Margaret. Good morning, Lena. With you and your beautiful buffalo on the prairie. Good morning, Allison. Yay! You guys, we had fun last night on the Feeling Better Go Time. And it's, you know, I got to get a hold of when I'm doing the actual live over there. Because somehow I was on the Segmet Biz story instead of the Feel Better Coach story. Not sure how that got crossed up. But you know what? You just roll with it. What I say, each day is like being at the amusement park. I thought I was getting on the roller coaster. I got on the water ride. Okay. That's how you do it, sweet ones. And good morning, Cindy. Let's see. Oh, good. I'm glad you saw it. And I called myself, good morning, Elisa. All right. Let's see. Good morning, Heather. And let's see. I think that is Danielle. Yes. Good morning, Danielle. Good morning, Pablo. All right. Sweet beautifuls. It's a beautiful day. This is your day. This is your gift. It's in your divine design. Nobody can mess with it. You have full authority on your day. You are wonderful and special and beautiful and deeply full of radiating, loving substance. Why? Just because you exist. That's it. No credential on this planet and beautiful Mother Earth gives you permission to radiate from the beautiful light and sun that you are in your body. You are just because you are. Just because you exist. Just because you are here. And as I say for you, I say for me too. It is the truth for us all. There's a whole divine design that we don't touch too much in our society as far as, you know, education and things like that. But, you know, this transformation that we're in, it's coming. It's coming. We are moving into a consciousness dominant society as opposed to a, shall we say, rule oriented society. So we will be doing it from within, our own connections, our own divine design connections, as opposed to, is it okay if you see? Isn't this great? I'm so glad I'm young while this is all happening, you know. I'm so glad. Good morning, Gemma. Good morning, Nadisha. And there's Elisa. And good morning, Catherine. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Good morning, Sue. You see, I got these little thingies in the way. That's why you see me kind of looking around because it's not like it is. This little app thing is different. So guess what, you guys? It's a good morning, and I appreciate you all for being here. Today's topics are, I actually said them last night, fear and authority, as far as definitions go. Now, jumping right into it, you know, it seems pretty popular today for people to give you the anagram of fear, you see, as opposed to the meaning of what it really is. So I decided, especially we're in some tumultuous times. I use it like that because it's just perception. We're in a funny kind of time on the earth right now as we expand, you see. So fear, people say in the anagram, or they'll go, forget everything and run, FEAR. That's one of them, right? And then that's on the negative side. If there's people run away, okay, forget everything and run. But then on the other side, and this is popular for like motivational speakers and such like that. All right, now on the other side, they'll say, what's the other one? It's I think it's forgive or forever appreciate reality. Like there's a few of them out there where you could go to the negative side of feeling or the positive side of feeling. But again, those are anagrams, right? So what I wanted to do was actually give you, oh, hey, Mish, hey, Michelle, give you what it really is, okay? So fear, when you look it up in the Google or the modern dictionaries, and actually I have pretty much the same thing. I just have a couple of words that I add in. So I'm just going to give you a combination. So fear, usually, I'm going to say usually because you do have some junkies that are addicted to the feeling and they use it for a motivational type push. Okay, so usually it's an unpleasant emotion based in the belief that harm, pain, or a threat is presently there or shall become present as a result of doing something, doing an action. You know how people are afraid of heights, you see. So once they get so high, usually there's a belief structure that something can happen if they fall down and hurt themselves. Or people who are afraid, they have fear of water. A lot of times, these are resulting from incidents that happened in this lifetime, in this realm, but also sometimes in other lifetimes when people had things happen to them and they bring it through. You know, energetically, they bring it through and it's real. It expresses itself as an old trauma, even though it didn't even happen when they were in this particular body that they're inhabiting now. You see? So it is a belief structure, though, that results in an emotion. Remember how I said emotions have mental constructs connected to them? So just remember that. And so that's how come people can get over fears, because it's not actually present in this moment in time, you see? So I'm using things like phobias, but you know, there are people who will stay in the house because they believe there is potential harm, potential pain, or potential threat resulting from if they go outside of the house. So what happens is, because that's a belief structure, the way they get over it is to deal with the present moment, that they are safe. And depending on who they're working with, this is a Segmet thing that I always say, safe, secure, and deeply loved you are, you see. So the present moment usually shows the evidence of being safe and there's no threat, pain, or harm that's coming. And then they can work with it from a mind place, and then that sets the emotion place back in alignment, you see. So that's actually the fear definition, and it has to do with a belief structure. And so how you overcome fear most of the time, because there are those who need more than that, is participate directly in your present moment to see the evidence that you are safe from whatever the fear is rising up from, you see. All right, my dears. Now, let me check for questions. Yep, safe, secure, and deeply loved, Nadisha. That's what I say. Because we are all the time. Even if we have a certain circumstance, you know how some people are just on their own out here, where maybe You know how it happens with runaway kids or some types of foster kids where maybe the parents died in a car accident together, or, there's all kinds of circumstances why people end up alone. But even when you think you are alone, like no DNA relative around, you are still never alone. And that is because, remember how I talk about all of ourselves and the loving actual design and construct that is way beyond physical and even beyond what the mind understands. So we are never actually alone, even when we think we are, because we have our buddies that escort us through life, whether you call them angels, but we don't, they're around. And so then there's also this whole thing with the dream state and what is really going on while we're sleeping, dreaming, what is really going on. How some of us have it so vivid. It's like living color, technicolor kind of stuff, where in the dream state, you're with people and things happen, and it's like you're actually living another life while this body is at rest in this particular realm. Pretty much that's what it is. It's not just symbolic. It's where we're going off and doing stuff while this physical vessel rests. Just like a little tune-up, how our cars need tune-ups. You see? So, with that being said, my dears, let's go in to, wait, let me make sure, no questions before I move into authority. All right. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, authority. Now, you remember how I was talking about potent and I used the word authority in there? That's where this came up. And it came up in Feeling Better Go Time when we were doing our Q&A and discussion. So I said, well, I'll do the definitions today. So authority, also a tricky one. Because the way we're taught previously, like our traditional teachings, we're starting to adjust it now. I see more parents going with adjusting with their children. But traditionally, authority was something that was coming from outside of us, you see. It was, people who were experts or parents or, preacher, teachers, like all kinds of stuff. Heads of society, not us though. So we would, okay, what does it say I can do? What kind of permission does the authority give us? So just for definition, authority, and this one is going to have a segment spin on it. But right now, this is kind of what it is when you look it up. Okay, so the power or right to give orders, make decisions, and enforce obedience. That's what's listed. Oh, okay. And then the part two is how you say, who's the authority here? Like a person. So the part two says, if you look it up, a person having power to control or give orders that enforce. You see? So see how there is still an energy of outside of thyself with those definitions. All right. So I want you to look at the word authority. AUTHORITY. Okay? Within that word is the word author. Is it not? It's right there, blaring at you. Author. All right. So you know the word author in our society all around the earth, it gives us a true definition. Oh, the one who created this work. Oh, the one who created this writing. Oh, the one who created this book. The author is the one who created it. The one who it really comes from. So you see now, here it comes. Segmet is doing it for you. Authority is relating to the author. Okay? So, now we find out, oh, it's not really from outside of us at all. You see? It's only outside of us once we give consent to giving it to another. You see? Then, see, so once the author creates the work, whether it's art or a book or whatever it is, the design, architecture, whatever it is, the author. Once they say, oh, I give permission for my work to be put into stores and retail type processes so others can have it. There has to be a consent. So then let's say I go down to my bookstore and I go and I buy the book. Well, now I can say this is my book because of the consent that the author gave to sell it. And now it's in my hand, in my possession. But without that author giving consent to sell it and for me to actually be able to attain it, then I will never be able to say this is my book. Now, I am outside of the author, am I not? But only as a result of the consent that actual author gave me in order to say this book is now mine. Now, let's go fast forward into society. So back to these definitions, you see. So authority that appears to be outside of yourself is only there because of very subtle energy exchanges where we say it's okay for that authority to be there. Other than that, we are the authority on our own lives and our own happenings and our own occurrences that happen on a daily and nightly basis. Okay, so authority has to do with you being the author of, and let's just go back to some of those things that were said, over your author, your authority, over, I should say authorship, right? Your authorship or authority over giving orders. In other words, this is what I want done for me. Remember how I always talk about it's always about what you want or what you don't want. It's always going to circle back to that, just like with toddlers. No matter how long and how many sunsets and sunrises we see. Okay? Your authority over giving orders, your authority or your authorship over making choices, which a lot of times I'm going to have to deal with this too. The difference between decision versus a choice. So you'll notice that I always talk about making choices. You'll rarely hear me say decisions unless I'm referencing like today where I read it out of the definition. There is a difference, and I'll explain that on another time. Okay? So, and also your authorship or authority over enforcing obedience. So, this is the thing. Remember how we talk about discipline over your own life journey? Is that not a form of enforcing obedience with your own self? You see, everything that we're doing on these beautiful days and nights that are in our divine design that nobody can take from us, right? There's always the pathway to success kind of in it. We just have to be present to it. We just have to be aware, okay? So as a person outside of us would say enforce obedience. Okay, there's got to be consent that's given to that person. That's how come people like police officers and stuff, they'll say, oh, but we are representatives of the people. People like governors and even up to the president, traditionally they say, oh, but we are representatives of the people. That means that their authority is granted to them through the body, the mass of the people. Okay? Now, there are abusers of such things, but that exists in all life. I don't care where you go. There'll be people who violate. And then what it is then there's a natural type system for bringing violations back into alignment, you see. Not necessarily by force. You see that? So this is the same thing as it is. You know how we say, or some of us have had these wise older people, I have, that say, well, as above, so below. As within, so without. Okay? So what you're seeing in your environment is actually really anchored in your within domain. Within. Okay? So remember that about authority. It's really yours to activate in your life journey. It is also yours to grant consent to others to use as agents for you. See? So this life gets real simple, real quick once you understand that you are the radiating sun that shines the light, you see? And then you can say, well, maybe I'll need to use a dimmer switch right here. Or you can say, well, I'm going to go full out right here. It's still up to you, okay? All right, my dears. Now, let's see. Da-da-da. Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what? Let me make a mental note of that, Catherine. The dream state. That's another rare one that not a lot of people talk about, but I know why, because not a lot of people can actually remember their dreams, and then not a lot of people have the background to be able to participate in it with confidence. Segmet is a hot mess, because, I do so many things, and I can remember it all. I don't know how it all fits in here, but it does, and I really think sometimes I'll just pull it from here. This whole gateway thing, okay? All right, let's see. Oh, look at Bodie doing his thing. Ooh. And you gotta, Kailash, I haven't seen you in a while. Beautiful girl. All right. Okay, so I just was checking, you guys. Bear with me for questions. I love you too, sweetheart. And I don't see any, so I must have did okay with that. All right, now let's everybody get your water. It's time to do our divine current breathing and lock it all in so that we are clear in our own vibration and setting ourselves for this beautiful day. It's a good morning and even a reset as we do a beautiful night in some places. And then if it's the afternoon, it's still beautiful. That's why I call y'all sweet beautifuls, because no matter what, you are beautiful. It's a good morning. It's a good morning. Get your water. Here we go. Okay. Nice and comfortable. You guys, I'm doing so much. But you know what? I'm getting it all done. You'll be proud of me. Okay. Here we go. Nice and comfortable. Remember to listen to the sound of the inhale and exhale as you breathe in as deeply as you can and not holding and not forcing, and then exhale as thoroughly as you can without holding and without forcing, okay? All right. I am here. I exist. It's a good morning. And here we are. You guys, the white sparks were just going off all over the place during the whole time. I was almost distracted with the joy of participation in how much was going on. And then I could feel all of this tingling all on my face. And I almost get tickled and laughter in the middle, but I stay focused. in my breathing. You can hear sometimes I'm like, and so it's beautiful, the exchange of energy. And within, I'm just going to add this on before we get to our I love yous, but I operate outside of the space-time continuum. So that means I can feel you all as if you are right here. I'm in a stairway. Let me see. You can see the banister. This is actually a stairway that I sit in because I like with the plants and how it's all cozy and stuff. But you see, I can actually feel you all as if we're all sitting here on the steps right with me, right here in the house. And so a lot of times, woo, see that? It just went like periwinkle blue, like a diva just flew across it. You guys, this time that we're in is so exciting. And if you could just take the controls or what you're used to as traditional behaviors off and just go, well, shoot, everything I think I know, I don't know. And I'm just going to do experience-based living and have a good old time and then see what happens from there. And make sure you use your divine current breathing to reset you if you get into any kind of irritation, but also use it, like I say, as if a doctor gave an antibiotic and say every 4 hours or every 6 hours, but create it just for you because, wow, you will expand so fast and your experiences on a daily basis will really, literally become so magical and even that word extraordinary, which is really extraordinary, right? So I appreciate you guys. I love you so much. It's a good morning. It's a good day. It's a good afternoon. It's a good night. No matter where you are on the planet, we are together. Mwah. I just want to just make sure you know that the space-time continuum thing, that's not actually a barrier for this and what we do here. Okay? So, my dears, time for I love you. As I say I love you to you, yes, you hear my voice. And I feel when you say I love you out to me, I feel every bit of it. Most importantly, though, you must remember that when we are saying I love you, it is all that we are loving on us and all here in this physical domain and realm, and then also what we radiate out to all of ourselves as well. All of that, all at the same time. So 3 times, my dears. Ready? Let's go. I love you. I love you. I love you. Mwah. I'll see you next time. Have a fabulous morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Mwah.